Hello and welcome back to my studio. Here's a great technique that's going to help you simplify your painting. I'm going to be using gouache as a way to illustrate this idea because there's one thing you cannot do with gouache paint. You cannot get too fiddly with it and get too many things going on. Your paint is going to get messy, muddy, and it's not going to be pretty. So I'm going to use gouache to illustrate a good point in how to pull your painting back from that fussy little bits everywhere into something that is strong and great to look at. Right, let's jump in. Okay, in this painting I've used gouache to create a landscape scene. There's a lot going on in the scene, and what I've found is getting into the painting I start falling into some old habits. Do you see this in your painting? Where shapes start getting smaller and smaller, you're using a little brush, you're creating too many things, too many little distractions. The layers start building up, but the colors get a bit stale, a bit muddy, they lack that freshness. I sometimes call gouache painting the perfect medium for a direct approach. And what do I mean by that? Direct as in seeing the shape and putting it down in a bold and almost abstract way. Shapes and color notes all next to each other. But it has to be big, clean and strong. Gouache is one of those colors that really works best when you put down a perfectly clean color note. No messing around on the palette to get it all muddy. So in this painting I was progressing quite nicely until I took a moment and had a look at it and thought there's just too much going on here. The one thing you've got to do in that case, get the big brush, grab your biggest brush and mix some good clean color and go over all those little bits and pieces. With oils you could probably get the painting knife and scrape that off. Or maybe if you come back to it after a couple of days, you can just paint over it. But with gouache, you've got to simply paint over it. Let it dry, get color on your brush, paint over it. Re-establish the big shape, the big mass pattern that made the painting have such potential in the first place. Once you've got all of that structure back, you can fine-tune here or there, but you're not going back into a fiddly mess. Use this idea in all your paintings. Acrylics, oils, gouache, even watercolor, you could find you need to do something drastic. Well, you can do things with your watercolor, but it could be too late. Depends on what stage you are in that process. Big shapes, big color notes, strong composition. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the painting as it went along and the conclusion, and maybe you find it helpful. If you really want to get into your gouache in a big way, have a look at my painting school. I've got gouache painting for beginners. I've also got an advanced gouache course, and you can pick up things there that maybe you don't find on YouTube as well. Right, straight into the painting using that big brush to get some big shapes in the bottom right here. Get the shadows, get those beautiful strong shadows nicely established. Getting rid of all the fussy little details and sticking to what's really important. Get a strong composition, big shapes, and then you can build on that. And you'll see what I mean in a moment as I set the foundation up. Yep, looking much better. And then I can get into the lights and get that pop of light, that strong light effect that I really look out for. But you got to earn it first. You got to set up those strong shadow patterns, big shapes, and then you can come in with these strokes. Scumble that light color, get that beautiful light going in your painting. When you do have a detail to show off, you will use it as a suggestion using a bigger shape. So if some lights on the tree, you don't have to cover it like a Christmas tree. putting some figures in to complete the painting, and that will be sort of the few last touches I do to the painting. I'm going to add this full demonstration into my gouache painting course as well, but you can see how strong it is now, and how that bit of scumbled light against those big dark mass shapes at the back really bring the painting to life. Such a pleasure to get so much impact using a few strong shapes. As always, if this video was helpful to you, give it a like. If you could share it, that would be great as well. And also, please subscribe to the channel. There's more coming up on a regular basis, so you don't want to miss that either. Last note, a free course for you up here. You can have a look at my painting school, find something there that is useful to you, or just enjoy a couple of free lessons as well. Why not? Until next time, happy painting, and cheers for now.